Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Hussain Qazi, the facilitator for the subject Strategic Business Reporting, SBR, Advanced Financial Management, AFM, and Financial Management as well. So we are live with that particular session based on SBR talk. First of all, before starting that particular session, uh, one very important thing that I'm here to assume that you people have already watched my first my first SBR introduction, SBR orientation. I hope that you people have already watched the SBR 360 or the SBR course by Hussain Qazi, a comprehensive introduction about the subject strategic business reporting. If you people are not able or not have not yet watched that particular video, you can coordinate me through my WhatsApp. Then I will provide you the link as a demo lecture or SBR introduction. Then you will be able to watch that particular video. So first of all, the assume mindset is that you have already watched my first SBR introduction session. Number one. Number two, I hope that you people have knowledge about IAS 37. You have already watched, you have already the knowledge about IAS 37. Today we will discuss an extract of SBR exam question that's related to IAS 37, and more specifically today I will discuss with that particular session about the drafting technique to handle the examination of strategic business reporting. One more thing you have to bear in your mind that all of you people must have the part of my WhatsApp group that's called SBR Talk, either the group 1 or either group 2. SBR Talk is actually a group open for all and facilitated by me to provide you time by time a limited instruction and direction to bridge the gap between your preparation and the examiner expectation. Do remember that all of the students, do remember that the ACCA exams, the ACCA strategic professional exams, for all strategic professional exams, these exams, it's not only about the knowledge of the subject, but also the very important, the smart techniques, the drafting techniques. It's parallel, simultaneously important as like the technical knowledge. So number one, the technical knowledge of the syllabus plus drafting techniques with a smart aspect, how to draft the answer. These two combinations will provide you how to success the exam. Most of the students just get the knowledge of the SBR syllabus, but not able to handle the examination questions with the right drafting techniques. And this is one of the major reasons for the failure of the exam. Drafting techniques includes the management of the answer, the management related to time management, the management related to marks management. So we will discuss here how to handle the drafting technique for the SBR questions. Do remember that whatever the direction I'm going to provide to you here, after the session, you must have to apply that particular techniques, drafting techniques to other part, to other questions, to all practice questions. That's very much important. The student who have already registered with my course, follow my instructions of the classroom WhatsApp group about the assignment I will give you. The students who have already registered with me, I will give you the assignment and you have to submit me through an email, and I will reply you with the feedback, with the highlighted issue, what should be the answer, what you have done, what is the gap, and how to cover the gap. And this facility only for the registered students. So let's start SBR talk first session with a particular question. You people already have a document. This document, you people already have the document. I've shared with a multiple group. You must have to ensure that you are part of my SBR talk group 1 or group 2. So very important. The first important thing you have, first of all, I'm giving you 1 single minute and you must have to read that particular question. After reading the question, I will provide the drafting technique of that particular question. Come on. You have 1 minute. Read this question thoroughly. Okay, time is over. Now I'm going to Read that particular question. This is a very latest question. March, June 2021, question for Collat. Can you please all reply me? Are you getting my voice clearly? That's good. Okay. Collat company manufactures aluminum products and operates in a region that has suffered a natural disaster on 1st November 7. There has been an increase in operating costs as the company had to replace a regional supplier with a more costly international supplier, and the year end of Collat 31st December 7. Whenever you are in the examination hall, whenever you read the question, the very important thing, can you please reply me about the clarity of my voice? Once again, can you please reply me about the clarity of my voice? Okay, that's good. So once again, Collat company manufactures aluminum products. Aluminum products. So they are manufacturers of aluminum products. The background of the company, it's important for the question that either they are manufacturer or service industry, where they belongs, operates in a region that suffered a natural disaster. The background is that natural disaster. And the company, there has been increase in operating costs as the company replaced a regional supplier with more costly international supplier. The year end Collat 31st December 7. Do you remember the year end date is very much important in the question. Year end is 31st December 7. And year start 1st November 7. Year start, sorry, the event natural disaster has the natural disaster event occurred by 1st November 7. That means the 2 months before the year end. So what the first thing in your mind with respect to this term natural disaster, what the first thing related to accounting standards? What the first thing in your mind? Natural disaster affecting to the business and the accounting standard, something about impairment, something about impairment, something about losses, provisions like this. Okay. Now the non-current asset, the situation about the non-current asset. As a result of natural disaster, share price of Collat has declined. Share price declined as a significant amount of non-current asset were destroyed. So actually this event has happened, the natural disaster, the out of the control of anyone, and it's significant amount of the non-current asset were destroyed, and some chaos in the market created that's impact on the stock market share price. So as a result of the natural disaster, share price of the Collat has declined as a significant amount of non-current asset destroyed, including the manufacturing facility. In addition, Collat has suffered reputational damage, resulting in a decline in customer demand. Decline in customer demand. Okay. The non-current asset of Collat that were destroyed had carrying amount of 250 million, 31st October X7. Non-current destroyed 250 million, 31st December October X7. And the fair value of non-current asset were 280 million based on independent appraisal shortly before that date. Okay, so that means the non-current asset that were destroyed, the amount 250 million, and the fair value before the destroyed date, before that event date, that's 280 million. In addition, Collard determined that power plant will have to close and decommission earlier than previously expected. So do remember that this yellow highlighted initially discussion about a particular non-current asset destroyed. And now this light blue highlighted, that is about the power plant. And the power plant will have close and decommissioning earlier than previously. This is something new, decommissioning earlier than previously. The remaining useful life of power plant reduced from 25 to 8 years. And non-current asset valued at a cost model, not the fair value. Now what's the requirement? The requirement, discuss any event affecting Collard company might indicate the impairment test out to be conducted with IS 36 impairment non-current asset. So very important thing that examiner mentioned, that read the question carefully in terms what actually examiner is asking. Do reply me. What here examiner is asking in part A, is this about calculate the impairment loss, or is this about the conditions for the impairment test? Yes, quickly reply me. The part, what is part A about? Calculate the impairment loss or the conditions or indications about the impairment test? Yes, absolutely right. Here the examiner asking about 3 marks for impairment indications, impairment conditions. That is this justified to make impairment test based on the above conditions, if you feel that. 3 marks. Number 2, discuss how following should be accounted for in financial statement for the year end 31st December X7. I have taken just extract of the question, not the complete question. And what is this about? Destruction of non-current asset. Destruction of non-current asset. And decommissioning of power plant. So 2 different things. The natural disaster hit it to the non-current asset, and this non-current asset destroyed this non-current asset. And this requirement is about destruction of non-current asset. And after end, this is about decommissioning of power plant. These are 2 different requirements. These are 2 different requirements. Destruction of non-current asset is a different thing, and decommissioning of power plant is different. These are 2 different. Now come on. The point is that assume that you are sitting in the examination hall. Assume that you are sitting in the examination hall. Now, the very important thing, whenever you are getting the knowledge from my lectures or from your syllabus, and then you are attempting any exam question. By the way, exam questions on a regular base attempt on a regular base is equally important like you are preparing the knowledge. So every 2 to 3 days you have to attempt the SBR latest exam questions from September 18 to December 21. You have to attempt it and follow the instructions whatever we are providing to you by me or by your instructor, anyone. Now what is this about? Now come on. You have a knowledge of IS 37, that's good. Now I am telling you that you have a knowledge. Now it's time how to draft your answer. During your preparation of SBR, the drafting techniques includes 3 parts. Number 1, before starting the question, the very important thing is that first of all, plan your answer. Plan your answer. Number 2, once you plan your answer and start writing, so the first thing, you have to refer the knowledge. For example, you have planned that this is something about IS 37, is something about IS 36. So first thing is that you have to mention about the knowledge of accounting standard. Based on my first SBR orientation video, I have already mentioned you that there are 5 areas of the syllabus. SBR 5 areas of the syllabus. Number 1, IFRS. Number 2, conceptual framework. Number 3, performance measurement. Number 4, current development. Number 5, ethics. So these are the syllabus area. Whenever you are working, apply knowledge means if you are working with ethics, if you're working with performance measurement, if you're working with the IFRS, you have to apply that knowledge. Applying here means refer the knowledge of the syllabus area. And then finally, connect the knowledge with the scenario. If you will not connect the knowledge with the scenario, you will not able to qualify the exam. So these 3 things. Okay. So plan your answer, apply the knowledge, connect with the scenario. So one by one, how to cover this thing? First of all, the important thing, plan your answer. Sir, what does that mean? Plan your answer. What is the meaning of plan your answer? Planning includes 2 parts. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Planning includes 2 parts. Number 1, time management. Number 2, marks management. First thing is the time management. Time management means whatever the allocated time you will decide or you will determine, stick with the allocated time, because you have to make a commitment with yourself that you have to attempt 100% of SBR exam during examination hall. You have to attempt with the 100% marks of the question during exam. So from today, from this day, you must be very much committed. You must be very much committed that I will practice the question with stick with the time management. The golden rule, you people know very well that there are almost 180 minutes. I know that 15 minutes above, but rational 180 minutes over 100, that means 1.8 minutes per mark. So first of all, you have to determine that, if the question about, let's suppose 5 marks. So that means 5 marks multiplied by 1.8, that you have 9 minutes. You have 9 minutes. So you have to complete your task within 9 minutes. And do remember, the 9 minutes consist of 2 things. First thing is that, the first thing is plan your answer. That is called marks management. That is called what to write. Before start writing, you must have to know that how much time I have, for example, 9 minutes. But 9 minutes is not for writing of the answer. Out of 9 minutes, 20% of the time, approx 5 marks question, you have 9 minutes. So out of 9 minutes, at least 2 minutes, you have to spend what to write. What to write. So marks management means think about it, what to write. Plan your key points like this. Plan your key points like this. Plan your key points either in your mind or the scratch pad, with the CB platform. Some of the persons like that plan the answer with typing. Some of the persons plan the answer with the rough paper. Some of the persons plan the answer with their own mind. But any of the way, before starting, you must have to plan what to write and spend 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 20% time for the planning. If you obey this instruction, believe me, the chances of your success will be very brighter. I can assure you. I cannot guarantee, because Allah, God knows better. No one other than Allah, God's. The human being not able to guarantee, but I can assure you based on past experiences. That's important. For example, this question. Discuss any event affecting collage which might indicate that impairment test out to be conducted. And that is 3 marks. So the first important thing, the part A, plan your answer. That number 1, for 3 marks, you have 5 minutes. The 1 minute you have to think about it, what to write, and 4 minutes for writing. 4 minutes for writing. That's the point. You have to think about it. Like this, if I am sitting in the examination hall, some points blink in my mind. These points. This one is the first point. Impairment indicators. I will mention some impairment indicators. That belongs to 2 marks. And then finally make the comment, 1 mark. Finally make the comment, 1 mark. So I have to think about that. What the impairment indicators? So here the question is about natural disasters implications. For example, in the question mentioning declining in customer demand. Hello, can you please reply me? Are you with me? Are you getting the point what I'm saying? Is this valuable for you? Whatever I'm saying, are you happy for this? Your interaction, it's a key component for me. That's important. Okay, so natural disaster implications, like I have to mention for 2 points, for 2 marks. I have to mention decline in customer demand is one of the reason. Here, the issues are already mentioned within the question. The share price decline is the another reason. The damage of the non-current asset is another reason. Or you can shuffle it. Damage of the non-current asset is one of the reasons. That's natural disaster implications. The share price, the decline in the customer demand. These are the points that blink in your mind. And you must say that, sir, this one is, these are the points I will start and then conclude with the final comment. Final comment that based on these indicators, I would suggest to Collard to make impairment test as single asset or cash generating unit. That's the final mark. And I am using a word, logical sequence. I'm using a word, logical sequence. This is what about a logical sequence of the answer. Can you please reply me? Is that clear? How your brain should work? How your brain should work? That's a key point. And after that, for example, you have spent 1 or 1.5 minutes over there. I am not forcing you to plan your answer in writing format with a paper or the scratch card. It's your wish. Sometimes you will plan your answer by writing the thing. Sometimes just clicking a point in your mind. Now, after that, I will write the answer accordingly. And this is what the answer. This is what the answer. Sharp points. You have to make a practice to develop a sharp point. Sharp means there's a thing. Sometimes the instructor says that your points must be concise and complete. Concise and complete. So concise and complete combined with the terminology called sharp statements. Number 1. But don't forget, whenever you start writing, you have to ensure that I will write the answer in a way, knowledge plus connect with the case. Knowledge with connect with the case. Okay, the sharp statement. With the consideration of these indicators, with the consideration of following indicators, natural disaster event have triggered the impairment indicator. And you will mention what the following indicators: decline in customer demand, or you can mention that damage of the non-current asset first. Decline in customer demand had taken place because of damage in reputation. The first point. Number 2, share price of Collard declined, which again indicate the carrying amount of net asset higher than market capitalization. Which means you can write in this manner as well. The market capitalization means total stock market is lower than the company's total net assets. Other way around. So share price decline, the total market capitalization is lower than the company's book value of assets. And finally, damaging the manufacturing facility means hit to the non-current asset, destroyed the non-current asset, resulting damage the manufacturing facility is a direct indicator an increase in operating cost. These three statements. So you have to write these sharp statements. These indicators triggered the impairment indicators. Final comment. As a result of the above impairment indicators, Collard company, okay, that's important. Somewhere in the question, you have to mention the name. That is called connect. For every part of the question, you have to mention somewhere you have to mention the name somewhere. As a result of above impairment indicator, Collard company have to make impairment tests for the respective asset or CGU. This is not exactly the model answer. I have made some adjustment with the model answer equals to student caliber. That how student easily understand that how to write the answer accordingly. Candidates, yes, are you getting the point? How to draft the answer during exam of the SBR? Are you getting the point? Are you getting the point? Do reply me. Out of 5, if I say I've delivered a lecture and having the 5 points, how much points you have covered? 5 by 5, 5 by 4, 5 by 3, what? What will you rank? Yes, come on quickly. What you will rank? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yes. Now, the things will going to improve over the period about your understanding, and once you will apply the things accordingly, that will be more beneficial to you, and automatically the points will increase accordingly. If I say with this question, discuss how falling should be accounted for in the financial statement for the year end 31st December X7. The destruction of non-current asset and decommissioning of the power plant. And that is about 4 marks. That is about 4 marks. Now come on. Now it's your turn. I am giving you 5 minutes. I am giving you 5 minutes. You have this question. Whatever I have delivered with my session till now, now it's your time to apply. Plan your answer. Number 1, plan your answer. Apply the knowledge, connect with the case. If you are on the system, then start it. You have 5 minutes. Are you with me? Will you do that? Or otherwise, I'm going to just work out on. Only one person. Are you interested to apply the things, apply the points, whatever I've discussed with you? That's good. That's good. So it means that I should silent. Keep my mouth shut. Yes or no? Okay, okay. It's your turn. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your timer start. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Even a person watching that particular video, because I will upload that video on the YouTube, even you are watching that video, just pause the video here, just pause the video here and start attempt the question. Attempt the question. And after that, on the video, and then I'm saying actually you are absolutely right, but actually I wanted to record this point for those students who will watch later my recording. So pause the video here, attempt the question, spend at least 5 to 6 minutes according to the time management, and then compare my answer, compare your answer with my remaining part of that particular lecture. Okay, your time starts now. Thank you. Okay, now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. So once again, I'm going to read the requirement once again. Number one, can you please reply me? All of you are with me? Hello, can you please reply me? Are you with me? Okay, that's good. Okay, discuss how the following should be accounted for in the financial statement for the year end 31st December 7. Destruction of non-current asset, destruction of non-current asset, in decommissioning of the power plant. Two things. Okay, so decommissioning of the power plant and destruction. So non-current asset were destroyed and the power plant have to be closed and decommissioned earlier than expected. First of all, recall what is the initial accounting of the decommissioning cost. Can anybody reply me? What is the initial accounting for the decommissioning cost? Whenever we install any plant, what's the accounting? This is simple F7. This is simple FR. This is simple FR. So the complete accounting is that at installation of plant, if there are some provision for decommissioning cost, so what should be debit? Asset debit and credit provision. Okay. And here the provision, the amount should be is the present value of estimated cost. And this includes timeline, that means number of years, that is timelines in terms of years, and discount rate, and the estimated future cash flows. That is the point. And subsequently, not this case, but you have to know that subsequently, if we adjust with the time value of money, that's called the unwinding of discount. The unwinding of discount will not affect to the value of asset, but charged to the profit and loss account. This is the point. But what if if we have made a provision and capitalized the asset with the 10 years, for example, 10 years, but for some reason this decommissioning cost, it's need to adjust for 6 years. The life becomes shorter. So what will happen? What will affect? So two important things. If the time period becomes shorter, then the mathematics says that the value become increase. The value become increase, which means that instead of 10 years, if you make a provision for 6 years, automatically the present value of the cash flows value become increase. So that change in life in terms of reduction, so value of provision will increase. But on the other end, what will be the impact of asset? Sorry, what will be the impact of debit? Is this the part of P&L or asset? No, it's a part of asset. Because if some changes, subsequently, if some changes occur related to the origination of the transaction, then it should affect to the value of asset as well. So that is the key point here. I know this is a critical and technical point during the exam for the students. And examiner particularly mentioned that most of the students has made a mistake over there. But no worries that you have to keep moving. That's important. You have to keep moving. Something's right, something wrong. And at the end of the exam, approximately 80-85% or 70-75% paper, it's accurate. You will be able to get distinction if you out of 100% paper, 70-75% it's matched to your answers, matched to the final answers, accurate answers, and 25% is it's not up to the mark. Okay, now come on, what to do? Sir, how to draft? Once again, part B, plan your answer. 4 marks, 1.8 multiplied by 4, 7 minutes, almost 20% time, 1.5 minutes for planning, and 5.5 minutes approximately for the writing. Number 2, plan what to write. What to write means plan your key answer. Plan your key answer. That's important. Number 1, the very important thing. The important thing is that examiner asks destruction of non-current asset. Destruction. What do you say that? If any of your asset become destroyed, for example, if you purchase a machine having a life of 10 years, after 4 years, it's become destroyed. So is this the matter of impairment or is this the matter of derecognition? Is this the matter of impairment or is this the matter of derecognition? One of our asset, it's now become destroyed. Yes. So here the issue about destruction. What is this about destruction? Either impairment or derecognize. And this is about 1 mark. So I have to think about, before writing, I have to think about that. This is the issue about impairment versus derecognition. And out of 4, I can get easily 1 mark. Very good. Number 2. Decommissioning accounting. Decommissioning related to the power plant. That is related to 2 marks. Decommissioning provision And decommissioning provision is here about IAS 37 and 16, as I discussed with you. And also effect on the change in life. So first thing is that if life becomes shorter, so if the adjustment belongs to origination of the transaction, so you have to whatever the amount will arise, add the value of asset, credit the provision. And for IAS 16, the depreciation method must have to be the depreciation method must have to be revised prospectively, because life becomes changed, life becomes shorter, so you have to expense about with the revised life. You have to depreciate over the revised life. That is the point. And this is what the answer about. Yes, number one. One mark. Destruction of non-current asset. Destruction of non-current asset, a sharp statement. Result, de-recognition of asset as opposed to impairment. And try to justify your answer as opposed to impairment, because de-recognize as opposed to impairment, because no future benefit expected, either use or dispose. So therefore the carrying amount of non-current asset would be de-recognized. So do reply me. Is that clear, all of you? Quickly do reply me. Hello. Number two, remaining 3 marks. Point to notice that. Point to notice that 3 marks related to IAS 16 and 37. So number one, knowledge. Number one, knowledge. What is about the knowledge? As regard the decommissioning of property plant equipment, power plant, IAS 37 requires liability recognized as soon as obligation arise, which normally commencement of initial recognition. Sharp statement. Sharp means a very precise and complete. Decommissioning, according to IAS 37, liability recognized at initial recognition. Either you can, yes, just this, at initial recognition, that's all. Sir, is this compulsory to write the full name? Provision, contingent, liability, contingency? No, just mention IAS 37. Sometimes if you are not recalling the name of standard, IAS 37, IAS 36, sometimes it happens in the examination, during examination. So just mention according to accounting standard. You will get full marks. No worries. So number one, IAS 37. Number two, similar IAS 16 requires initial cost of an item to capitalize and estimate the amount cost of dismantle and remove the item, restored, etc. But here the case, as regard change in life case, the present value will increase because of shorter period. So increase is capitalize or add the asset, and the revised carrying amount depreciated prospectively over the life of the 8 years. This is all over. And that is what about this session of SBR talks is over. Can you please reply me first of all? Is that clear to all of you? It's a very simple point, since you have studied from F3 or F7, that if the life become reduced, so the assuming you are making a depreciation with a straight line, so you have to change the methodology of the depreciation method. Life become reduces, so that means that a new depreciation value will determine, and you have to report the depreciation with prospectively. There is no adjustment for the retrospectively. So new depreciation amount will adjust or will record prospectively over the time period. It's not related to the previous time period. One important thing, a very basic question. Listen carefully. There is a question. For example, I say that heirs 1, 2, 3, 4. Future cash flows 120. For example, future cash flows heir 4, 120. And discount rate 10%. Okay, is equal to 1.1. It's a very basic concept of NPV. That's 81.96. What if this cash flow of 120 instead of year 4, if you apply with the year 2, what will happen? Definitely, you must have to aware that as the time increases, the discount factor value become reduces, and the value, present value amount become reduces. But if the time if the time is at upside, for example, instead of year 4, it's year 2. So discount factor is higher than the year 4 or year 3, and the value of the present value is higher one. I hope that it's clear to you. There is another question. The question is that if the non-current assets de-recognize, there is no asset. Why the question is for depreciation? No, you have mixed 2 points. In this question, there are 2 different things. Number 1, a non-current asset destroyed, that is the separate asset. The power plant is the separate asset. So we have de-recognized the non-current asset, and the another case is about change in the life of the power plant. I hope that, it's clear to you. The de-recognition is for the non-current asset, depreciation is very good. Very good. Zishan, is a very basic question according to IS 8. Prospectively means adjustment will be made now and in future. Retrospectively means the adjustment made based on earlier time period as well. You have to adjust with the prior period adjustment as well. So for IS 16, change in depreciation method always apply with the adjustment prospectively, current and future. There is no adjustment with the prior period. Is that clear, Zishan? Okay, thank you very much. So what to reply me a constructive feedback. If you feel that this session is valuable to you and these type of session continue with you, how to draft the question, do reply me on the SBR talk group. Do reply me on the SBR talk group and rank this session out of 5. You can make a constructive feedback, and with the ranks out of 5, you will rate either 5, either 4, either 3, 2, 1, 0, whatever. But on the WhatsApp group, I will appreciate if you share a constructive feedback. But no, I'm expecting a feedback on SBR Talks group, and I will activate that group as well. I will provide more things. Sometime we will meet with the live sessions, sometime meet with meetups with the text messages. But I will provide you a little bit support accordingly. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm open the top. Yes, I have opened the communication with all of you. I will appreciate if you share that particular matter. Okay, thank you very much. And do reply me if you want to add something for the betterment of these sessions. You have to reply me accordingly. Whatever the clutches you feel that with the session, you have to share the constructive manner that said that should be more things add with that particular session like this. Thank you very much. The students who have not registered with the course can communicate me through the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, you can contact me on the WhatsApp group or my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number. You can use this number as a WhatsApp contact. Okay, thank you very much. Komal, coordinate me through the WhatsApp. I will inform to the WhatsApp groups. Thank you. Take care a lot.